Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Dr. Pavani Moray from Wellcelium, and today I'm here with Yuri Kotke, who is a sexological bodyworker and somatic sex educator from South America, from Brazil. And we are talking about sexual styles and differences in sexual style and like what happens when there is a difference. So Yuri, welcome. So glad to be with you.
Thank you, Pavini. I'm really glad to be here.
Yeah, so this whole sexual style thing, because I think I've had bad sex. I think most of us have had bad sex at some point, but I think you're talking about something that's more specific when you say sexual style. Could you just give a working definition of what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think we all, like you said, we all had some bad sex or some sex that we felt it was not right, the ideal, or what we expected it to be. But when I say sexual style, I mean a way of relating. We all have a specific way of relating. And there's this guy that he figured out some things. I got this training and these ideas from my sexological bodywork training, where it was introduced this idea of the sexual styles. I mean, I relate to the other person in a specific way. And if this person relates to me in the same way, I do feel fulfilled. But if I expect something and the person relates to me in another way, even a way that's good for them, I don't feel as fulfilled as I could be. So when it's a little bit like apples and oranges, like you say in English, right? When you compare different things, I expect something out of an erotic experience, and the other person may be giving their best, but it's not the exact thing, or it's not the kind of thing that I'm expecting. I also could compare it to movie types. For example, if you're going to watch in the movies, if you're going to watch a romantic comedy, and what comes up is a scary movie, it may be a great scary movie, but you weren't expecting that, and it's not going to bring up what you expected from that. So that's what happened with sexual styles. They're a kind of framework of how you frame your sexual experiences. And many of us don't have an idea what is our sexual style or what's our partner's sexual style. So that sometimes can cause some misunderstandings.
Yeah, I know I didn't know what mine was until sex bod training. And it reminds me a little bit of the love languages, the five love languages, kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody can be really doing their best and showing up in their best lover self, but it might not match what the other partner is needing or wanting, and vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't, like you said, sometimes you don't know, most of the time you don't know what is our style. And like you said, like the love languages, for many people also that is a big breakthrough because they never noticed they were acting in that way or what they were expecting. So the sexual style is similar. It's something that you expect, and it's a kind of a language, it's a style of how you enact a sexual experience. And if something comes your way, it may be the most amazing experience in often a specific way, but if it's not the right way that you expected, it causes a little bit of, how do you say that in English? A mismatch. It's like it doesn't fit. It's like a puzzle where it's a wrong connection there.
Yeah. I mean, it also reminds me of experience discrepancy where I've had this happen where, I've been in a sexual experience with someone and I have this like amazing experience. And then afterwards I talk to them and they're like, yeah, that was cool. And I'm
Yeah, I
like,
know,
and you
right?
feel bad. Like I'm like,
We feel bad.
did I miss that? Or like, was something wrong? Or like, what happened there? Right. And it wasn't until I came across the sexual styles, the three sexual styles, that I realized, oh, right, that's what happened. There's a discrepancy in our experience, right? Because
Yes, and
they weren't
if
getting met on the level that they wanted to be met on at that particular moment. And just, I know you're going to go into this in the workshop that you're leading for Wellcelium about sexual styles, but there's three of them, right?
yes.
And can you just give like a quick one sentence on each?
Yeah, there's the longer way of saying that, because on the theoretical side, they talk about the role play. One of the styles is role play. The other style is partner engagement, and the other style is focus on sensation. But I like to simplify, and I got a very nice teacher who said to me, you can simplify it as sex to play, sex to connect and sex to feel. So that's make it really easy for us to understand. It's a reason. We have a reason in order to have sex. So some of us enjoy more having sex to play or to play a game in the sense of, oh, I feel very, very active right now, or I feel very being led or leading the way to the other in a sexual experience, right? So that also connects more easily with BDSM or with role play. So what kind of role am I playing right now? Another kind is to connect. So you look at the other person and you see beyond the roles. So it's usually a partner connection, is more of a romantic feeling. You want to connect with the uniqueness of that person. And the third way, sex to feel, it's you're having sex to feel in your own body, to feel the sensations, to feel pleasure. So we all do all those three simultaneously, right? In a way or another, they overlap, but we have a focus on one of them. One of them is our main focus when we have sex. So what happens sometimes is we are having sex in order to feel, and the other person, for example, is having sex in order to play. So you're just there, you're closing your eyes, you're just enjoying the moment, the sensations, and the person starts saying dirty talk to you, talking dirty talk. So it just disconnects you, and the person is so engaged. She's once, and you're like, oh, just leave me alone. I'm feeling. Yeah,
Don't talk.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're getting at like with the pain of it, of like how that disconnect can happen, and it's nobody's fault, right? It's just like people are it's like the golden rule. We're giving what we would like to receive, and yet it's not necessarily what our partner would like to receive. And I'm just curious if you want to speak at all to, what can result as having this mismatch in sexual style.
So I just also bringing the thing you brought up about this sexual experiences. So it's something that when we feel great and the other person is not that enjoying. And the other way also happens is like when you had this this experience and the other person is just puddled in their beds, like with a glint in their eye, and it's like, it wasn't amazing. And then you look and you feel like it wasn't, but I'm afraid to break it to this person that it wasn't that great, right? You feel a little guilty, but how could she enjoy so much? How could they enjoy so much that I couldn't? Did I do something that I never noticed? So this, we feel this inadequacy, and we think it's on us. It's something we did or something we didn't do, but it's more similar to a language or to an idiom that you don't know how to speak. So it's not exactly your fault that you're not speaking it, because you never learn on how to speak better that language.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I imagine that like on repeat over time, this mismatch, even with couples who really love each other or enjoy each other, it is cumulative, that it has an impact of that people can get resentful and get angry or kind of withdraw from the relationship if on the regular they're just not getting met and not being able to meet their partner, and even though they're both trying.
Yeah, and like you said, it's something that's cumulative. So in the beginning it can be just, oh well, I didn't get what I wanted today, and then you don't know how to ask, and then over time it grows in a sense of, I never get what I want, and then they moves to another areas of the relationship. So if the person doesn't listen to me here, or it doesn't mean the person doesn't listen to you, but you feel not listened to. So this accumulates in our bodies and in the way that we see the other person, right? Because sexual energy and the sexual experiences, they are very easy to imprint things in our bodies, in our experience, in the way we see each other. So it starts to seep into other areas of the relationship. And when we understand the sexual styles better, we know moments not only during sexual experiences where we can go to the other partner and, for example, play a game with them, an erotic game that's not directly related to the bed, but a little kink, or to connect them just by looking to their eyes and just eye gazing during the day. So that's something that connects you to their sexual style. You feel fulfilled when that happens, in a sense, not exactly in the bed, but that translates also to the sexual experience in the bed or anywhere else in the house you want. But I'm just using an example here.
Yeah, it's great.
So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking about personally this piece of understanding my sexual style, understanding my partner's sexual style, and then us having a language to talk about that discrepancy, to talk about that mismatch, to make sure that both partners' needs were getting met. It was a revolution in my relationship. It was like, oh, like this is really cool stuff. Why didn't anybody ever teach me that before, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you if you'd feel comfortable in sharing a little bit about when you discovered, and I could share also how when I discovered it, it was really a revolution in my love life. And I noticed looking back on, oh, that's where it went all the way down. Ah, that's where it didn't work. So if you could share that, is that okay for you?
Totally, yeah. I mean, I think the main thing is that it enables me to be a present lover to people of all different styles, right? Like in the past, before I kind of had this awareness of this model, of this paradigm, um, it was just magic. Like I didn't really understand how it happened. It was just sometimes it was a good connection and we had good chemistry and the sex was good, and then with other people it just was bad and it didn't work, and I didn't kind of know why, right, or what to do about it. I think even more so, and I think like as I learned more and became more equipped with tools of like what to do. It's kind of like if you're a paleo person and you're just like super into like meat and vegetables, and your partner's a vegan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's kind of like that of like how do you navigate that terrain of eating together, right? And it's not that it's impossible, but if you don't have language to talk about it. And so for me, that was when it really shifted, was when I could start talking about it.
Because it clicks something, right? Like you said, it feels like, to me, it feels like before it was kind of a slot machine game or something like,
Yeah.
okay, you put a coin in and you just pray that's going to work. Every new meeting, okay, this, and if it doesn't, if it does, great. If it doesn't, well, there's nothing to be done. So you just keep moving forward. And sometimes you find a significant other or others that you connect in other levels. And then you feel in this level you can connect, but you don't know why, because you did everything else right. But that part doesn't connect. So that also can create some resentment and some things that we keep accumulating these feelings. So when I noticed that this idea of, for me, the main point was this moment, like I said, when to speak and when to not to speak. This was a very deep thing that made a difference for me. So I didn't know when to speak, and some people enjoyed speaking and some people did not enjoy speaking in the way I spoke. So I was like, I need a formula or something. And
Hmm.
sometimes the same person wanted me to speak one day and not wanted the other day. I was like, okay, now I'm confused. Right? And then I noticed that, oh, because it doesn't matter, it's not the act of speaking or not, but it's how do I relate to this person and their sexual style. Because sometimes, for example, we usually relate the sexual style of speaking dirty talk to the act of playing, right? To play a role. But it can be in the other moments. You can say something to connect with the other person and say how this person is important to you. And you can speak something in order to feel, you can give directions to someone so they can touch you better and you can feel more. So it's not the act of doing something, but it's how you do that, with which intention you are into doing that. So I like the sexual style idea because it's about what's the intention that you have right now in order to have sex. You want to play, you want to connect, or you want to feel. And that's shifting, that shifts, right? But when you have language to communicate, you can shift from one to the other, and the other person can also shift. So you can actually kind of ride the wave instead of, okay, I have to do this right, and I don't know how to do this right. So it's just you throw the dice and help me God. So
Yeah.
I think it's
It
very
just
similar.
it gives a lot more possibility, I think, and a lot more options and choice and flexibility in coming together to do this thing called sex. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
you're
what?
going to be teaching about this for Wellcelium.
Yes.
And I'm super excited to have you as one of our teachers. And folks there's a webinar that's coming up about that, coming up later this week. And then there'll be a longer class later this summer, I think, right, this summer. And folks can study with you and really learn how to bring this into your sexuality, and how does having a toolkit like this really help you become a more fluent, skillful lover.
Yeah, and in this class we'll be able to dive a little deeper. In the workshop, we're gonna pick the styles and experiment with them a little bit, right? So people will come up with a set of tools that they can work with, and it will already help them. And in the the longer class, we're going to be able to go deeper into each tool, into each style. So you can dip your toes into it to see if it's your thing, and then if you enjoy it, you can do the longer class.
I love it. Wonderful. Well, I just want to say thank you, Yuri, for your time today, and hoping that everyone will check out the class. And you can find out more about Yuri and more about the class on wellcelium.org, WELLCELIUM.org. And until next time.
Thank you, Pavini. See you next time. See you soon.
See you.
Bye, everyone.